In 1943, after choreographing the musical hit Oklahoma, choreographer Agnes DeMille wrote fellow dancer Martha Graham about her anxiety about creating art during times of war. Graham responded that the creation of new works during wartime were essential, and that every artist experiences a blessed unrest that keeps us marching and makes us more alive than all the others. This sentiment seems tailor-made for Evelyn Stada Wahlberg, who exuberantly tapped her way through life. Evelyn was born in 1921 in Racine, Wisconsin. She received her first professional write-out at just 8 years old, when the Racine Journal News noted, "Little Evelyn Stada offered a spectacular jazzette number that proved quite popular. She received several bouquets over the footlights." Upon graduation from high school in Milwaukee, Evelyn joined a female trap troupe that toured throughout the Midwest and Canada. She also became the first female artist to sing on the Racine radio station WRJN. It was while on tour in the late 1930s that she met fellow dancer Eric Vern Wahlberg. The two soon joined forces, both on stage and off. After marrying, Eric and Evelyn decided to dub themselves the Dancing Walls. In between professional gigs, the Wahlbergs responded to the call of duty and joined their fellow Americans in the war effort. They enlisted in the United Service Organization and spent their free time performing for troops. The Wahlbergs claim to have visited every Army base in the continental US. In addition to dancing, Evelyn would sing a jazz standard or two, peppering in Hawaiian lullabies to send the boys off to the Pacific. In 1945, the Wahlbergs joined 7 other performers on a USO mission to the South Pacific as part of a performance troupe dubbed the Merry Madcaps. To provide security and save fuel, 11 military personnel from the Philippine Army traveled with the performers. On February 5th, 1946, the C-47 transport plane carrying the Merry Madcaps disappeared en route from the Panay Islands to the Cebu Islands. After an extensive search, the U.S. Army determined that the missing personnel were non-recovered. One might think that this is where the story of the Merry Madcap ends. But 18 years later, a fittingly dramatic event brought Evelyn back into the footlights. In 1964, Evelyn's mother was notified of a remarkable discovery. The U.S. Army informed her that students on a mountain climbing excursion had found the wreckage and human remains of a C-47 transport plane on the Negros Islands, which lies between Panay and Cebu. The human remains found by the hikers, as well as an Army identification card for Evelyn, were sent to the U.S. Army mortuary in Tokyo and subjected to extensive examinations. Although they were sure some of the remains belonged to Evelyn, it was impossible to separate her. All the remains were sent here to the Manila American Cemetery and buried together in a group grave. The Manila site was selected, a U.S. Army telegram noted, because the majority of the remains were thought to be those members of the Philippine Army. A song that Evelyn often performed was the standard of the day, "I'll Be Seeing You." Its last 2 stanzas seemed to be a fitting way to end my journey with Evelyn Stada Wahlberg. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Evelyn, it's been an honor to tell your story this year. Thank you for your service and the inspiration to always follow that blessed unrest.